gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. I am Robert with Sherburne Outdoors, and welcome to the Cohutta Wilderness. Well, the sun is coming up, the creek is flowing. I will tell you, we have gotten a ton of rain. Usually this creek is a little bit light, but it is just flowing like hardcore right now. I've gotten a lot of questions over the past year on my DECKED Generation 2 system here that I installed last summer. I would say we're coming up on a year. A lot of questions on how this operates, how it works, whether you have a Jeep Gladiator or a different truck, it really doesn't matter. First things first, why did I move to a DECKED system? It's expensive, and full disclosure, DECKED did not give me a drop of money for this. I paid for everything out of my own checking account, and it was expensive. It's like 1,700 bucks when you put everything in there. So with all that said, I used to have Roam 105-liter boxes that I used. I used 2 of them. I would shove them under the tonneau cover. One thing I didn't like from that is I would have to pull everything out at camp, do all my setup, put it all back in there, and setting up and tearing down camp was just a big hassle. And one thing that I wanted to do was make that fast, whether it was from the tent. So I got rid of my old sandwich tent that I had to crawl all over the Gladiator for, went with a roof nest that I can just pop up and have ready in 1 minute. I wanted the same thing for my Gladiator, where I didn't have to pull things out, where I could just simply come here, pull this handle, drawer pops out, it's in place. If I want to get into these containers, I can. We'll talk about these in a second. And grab my gear out of there, I can. Easily shut this up. And once I'm off and running. So that was what I wanted to do, and it's what I've been doing. So I've been extremely happy with this DECKED Gen 2 system. A little bit different than their first one that they came out, but there are some things with it you should be aware of, and we'll talk a little bit about this, is weight. It is 177 pounds before you do anything when you put this in. So think about that. The drawer holds 400 pounds, and I will tell you, I'm probably rolling somewhere near there. There's a lot of weight in there. I've got tools, recovery gear, all of my cooking stuff, you know, a pop-up toilet, all the stuff that goes inside of there that you need when you're out camping. And then, you know, I put everything on top of that. So from a new rooftop tent, which is almost 200 pounds, max track, shovels, axes, it just kind of adds up. And one thing I noticed immediately is I was starting to get some sag in the back of the truck. There was quite a bit of weight. Because once you put 400 pounds in there, this will hold 1,000. You're going to exceed the weight of what the Gladiator can do if you go past that. But, you know, you can put a bunch up there. So I did find, I was looking at potentially changing the springs out, and I found a cost-effective solution for that. So this was problem number one when I put this whole new system in, was we were getting some sag on the truck. So I found an airbag system that I saw on YouTube people were using for the same kind of problem, but for a different application. I bought the airbags, we installed them off of Amazon. They were relatively low cost, and it was a pretty easy install. My buddy Thad Taylor at Hicks Automotive helped me do it. We did it in his driveway in about an hour one day. And so pumped that up, got the air inside of there, and here's some pics of them inside of my springs. And I have had no problem. That was last fall that we did that, and I haven't had any issues. About once a quarter, I'll put some air in there because it's went down by about 1 or 2 PSI. But with that said, that solved all of my sag problems. So that was the first thing that I was dealing with. The second thing I was dealing with was it going to have dust? Was it going to have rain getting in there? And I will tell you from some of the questions that I've gotten on that, I've had 0 dust, I've had 0 water ever get in this drawer system, period. Now the containers I use are dust proof and they are waterproof. They've got seals inside of them. But just in general, I take this through a car wash all the time over by my house. We've been in snow, ice, monsoons. I probably have been out camping at least 40 nights since I've had this thing. So it has got heavy use during this period. And I've been extremely happy with it. With all that said, I've never gotten a single drop or a single speck of dust inside this drawer system. It has been pretty impressive. I was going to power wash everything out, but I actually wanted to do this video just to kind of show you the build up from the past year on the outside, and then we can look at the inside as well, and there's absolutely nothing. Other things that I get questions on are, hey, you lost your truck bed. Does this bother you? You know what? Sometimes it does. You do. You know, you're losing about a foot here, and you can still use the top. There are tie-down points and stuff like that. I wouldn't say you've lost your truck bed. You just kind of got to use it a little bit differently. You just can't drop stuff in there. Kind of have to tie it down a little bit more now. So that is another negative I would say with that. The positives for me are outlining the negatives because all my gear is always in here and it is always ready to go. and it is secure as well. Because when this truck bed is up, you can't open this. I even did take it a little bit further, and then I did put a locking system in here. I don't know why I did that. I probably didn't need to. I just thought I would do a little extra effort on that. But this is the deck. Why don't we look around and I'll show you kind of some wear and tear. So if you see here, I've got your basic Jeep Gladiator. I do have the integrated trail rail system, and then I do use billy bars where I've got a crane in my garage or winch system that'll drop down the tent onto here. But in general, this is my everyday drive. I did spend a little bit extra money and put all of these tie down points, put extra ones in here, so I had 3 down both sides. We look here, you know, obviously they've got their measurement system here, which I thought was cute. I've actually never used it. Started to see some wear here with scratches and everything else, but you know, this is the basic system. I have not power washed it or done anything to it. You can start to see some grime build up on the outside, you know, some stuff. I am going to power wash the truck, but I did want everybody to see this weekend before I did that. Now, to open this, you just pull this handle up and the whole system pops out. Very simple. You've got a mat down in there. You've got some additional storage on the outside. You've got a good seal right here that keeps all of the water and dust out from where the drawer, because you can see all of this buildup here of dirt. But inside there's nothing, and I've never cleaned it out. I'm actually going to power wash it out. It is square in the way it's set up, so you don't have any weird angles. And then it's got all of these, well, you can use this as an open bay here. I used to use it in combination with 1 or 2 of these, and I would have all of my gear kind of going down the side over there. There's some pics of it. But from here, I actually have put everything in these weatherproof boxes, all but one. This is one that it comes with. This is gonna go soon. I'm gonna go back to these, they call them 32s, and you got a 16 here. But these have an integrated handle where you can pull them up, or you can just, and they got a nice latch here. You open them up, and you can store stuff. It's got dividers in it. It's got a nice seal that goes along here. I've never gotten a piece of dust or rain in here. I do keep some electronics. I got a coffee maker. We got a kettle. It's a little messy in here right now. But I do something similar on the other side as well, where if we open it up, I've got more cook gear. I've got some power stations, fans, security kit, more electronics. So I feel completely fine with all of that in here. I've got some additional containers that go back here. We open this guy up, we've got some electronics inside of there for lighting and some other things. But these fit in here really nice. You can go a long ways here. You can kind of cube it up and figure it out. I've got another one of these stacked behind here that has all of my recovery gear in it. And then again, it's got this nice mat here, and this keeps everything from sliding around. You've got an additional slot back here you can put things. And then you do have kind of a cubby system here that goes all the way across. I keep lighters, I keep stakes, I keep straps, I've got a hammock, got some more tie downs, some trash bags. So I keep a variety of things in here. You want to shut it where you had it, you just pick it up and move it back. So nice and simple setup, not complex. You can see here it's got these metal straps. They do go in to the hooks. One thing I want to note, I didn't have to drill, I didn't have to do anything. There's 2 openings over there, and that is where it's strapped to the front and it's strapped to the back, and it does not move. Now, 2 other things this does have. It does have container systems here, and you can see them kind of underneath. If we just pop one of these open, I did put a lock system on these as well. And you see down here, I keep some straps. I've got a container here as well. You can kind of see some dirt around here, but nothing ever really gets in here as far as it being wet. And then once you want to put them back in, just slide them in here like so, and then just pop it down, it seals back down. And that's kind of it. Now you can see this is pretty durable up top here. I haven't had any issues. I've had all kinds of stuff in here rolling around. I do strap things down. In the back there, I do put a roam box and strap it down as well with the integrated D-hooks they have. And then I also use the hooks built into the trail rail system. And that's kind of how I have this set up. So this wasn't meant to be a really long video, but I did want to give a 1-year update on the DECKED system. As sophisticated it is, and I would say it's engineered so well, kind of a simple product. It holds stuff, it keeps it dry, keeps the dust off, and you can secure it. That's kind of its job. But in my case, it makes everything super organized with these containers. Everything's nice and tight where I need it to be. It's very organized. So when I get to camp, I open up, I get set up, I get moving, I get started with what I got going on. So very happy, and I can really maximize my overlanding experience. Would I buy the DECKED system again after what I've known now? Absolutely. I'm pretty happy with this purchase. Hey, DECKED, if you'd like to sponsor me, I am open for business. But anyway, so again, this is the DECKED system Gen 2. You can hit their website. I'll put a link below. Again, this is not a sponsored video, just a happy fan of their products and very impressed with how much better it makes my overlanding experience when I get to camp to set it up and also when I got to tear down camp. So that in a nutshell is just a quick 1-year review of the DECKED Gen 2 for the 2022 Jeep Gladiator Mojave. Hey, thank you so much for your time. Hey, if you got any value out of this, please click that like button. Don't forget to hit subscribe and click that bell to be notified when we got new content out. Again, I am Robert with Sherburne Outdoors. Everyone have a great day. Thank you so much.